Não sei por que eu tô, me perdi aqui. Vindo dali ou vindo daqui? Voltei pra cá, pra onde eu comecei o jogo.
There is no one in sight.
Não tem ninguém mesmo.
I cannot enter.
Tá vendo? Deixa eu ver, de repente abre, né?
It's locked, all right.
É que eu voltei pro bar.
Stupid or something. I've never even been to India.
Vou voltar aqui. Tô perdido, gente. Perdido, galerinha. Acho que vou descer ali. Vamos ver o que tem. Vou voltar tudo, vamos ver aqui.
It's locked. I cannot enter.
Ixi, estou perdido aqui. Não sei pra onde eu vou, não. Eu tô achando que ela é pela cidade mesmo. É, por aqui? Caralho, agora perdi total aqui.
It's locked, all right.
Tem ninguém pra interrogar? Como que eu vou interrogar? É, tudo leva aqui, eu... Interrogar Cadê ele de novo aqui? Vamos ver se ele fala alguma coisa.
Welcome back. Did you find what you were after?
I can't say I have. Are you sure no one else came into your bar before I arrived?
Hey, I told you, you were the only other stranger I've had.
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What'd you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to be strong. Now he's a mess.
Thank you, Tom.
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
There's gotta be something can be done to get out of this bullshit mess. No?
Pra onde que eu vou agora? Vou por aqui. Não é por aqui, não. Inspecione os barcos.
The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself. What's this? Some sort of note. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge. Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back
É,
on
se
the
soubesse
front
como
line.
pegar a arma, né?
The man says bloodsuckers dug in here. You've got one job, and that's to find it. And find it fast.
Fair enough, Tom. But why do they hide when it's so damn cold?
Best turn around if I were you.
Vem aqui, tio.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
Isso, vem cá, vem. Vai me jogar fogo, filha da puta? Eu tenho que descobrir como que eu faço pra pegar a arma aqui. Ah, é assim mesmo, não sei como que faz.
It's locked.
Vai ter que ser lá por baixo mesmo. Fala, biscate.
Crush the leech, boys!
Ah, filha da mãe.
There's one of them vermin!
Peraí, dá pra upar mais um negocinho? Peraí, deixa eu ver aqui. Não, ainda não, João. Eu mando, fica tranquilo que eu mando. Calma aí, deixa eu fazer essa. Pode ficar sossegado que eu mando. Você já me mandou aqui. Eu sei o que eu fiz aqui. Depois eu vejo. Ah, tem dois fila da puta aqui embaixo.
We won't see any of these bastards back here again. I'm that their screams when you burn alive.
Best turn around if I were you. Last warning, sir.
E aí, tudo bem?
Watch out. Burns on it. Fuck, it's fast.
Filho da puta me acertando dali, da onde? Eu recupero vida aos pouquinhos.
Stay over there.
Fica um filho da mãe aqui, ó. Vem pra cá, então. Ver se tem alguma coisa aqui. Não.
I cannot enter. Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy. This place reeks of bloodshed.
can't stand it anymore.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
William, please, stop. William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat, and we can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
Yes, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... what manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that scowl. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a... for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane! I'm coming! We'll have a word in my office later, Jonathan.
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that! Now, it's my turn!
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river, dry it all.
Bastard, give me a good poke. Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them? Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippets. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance. Good evening, sir.
So it is true. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippets, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran.
Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days. Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadigan fellow.
Fala, de... Beleza. Eu tô fazendo live aqui desse jogo novo. É. No YouTube. Eu já vou encerrar já daqui a pouco. Vai dar 1 hora de ir lá. Eu já fiz uma. Vê o outro lá. Você vai entender o jogo. É da hora. É esse jogo gratuito da Plus de vampiro. Nossa, é top. Muito louco. O comando gato bolado. Deixa eu ir até minha sala lá. É um pé no saco ficar conversando cada um. Leve-me para um... Agora tem que encontrar o escritório. Foca no segundo andar, então vamos lá. Não, mas não é essa porta aqui não. Será que é essa escada? Pô, não abre porta nenhuma, cacete. Esconder. Já achei minha
This must be
sala.
the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own.
Quem?
At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Se o teu tiver habilitado, consegue sim. Pra aparecer o áudio na live. Fabricação do que é isso aqui? Tratamento para fadiga, tratamento para anemia. Tem que analisar o... Oh, mas eu não consegui passar de uma parte lá, a parte dos drift lá, a primeira parte da campanha lá. Porra, coisa chata, mano. Não, eu também gosto, mas eu tô acostumado com drift no Gran Turismo, que é muito mais fácil, né?
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human
Nova
blood and
atualização do
shows
quê?
extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must. The sun is about to
Tatianka?
rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much
Mas é da
time
hora.
now.
A arma fixa que fica grudada no chão. Não, ele já carrega com a mão aquela arma. Nossa, aí eu estou fudido na minha mão. Aí sim. É. Deixa eu ver se aqui. Vou pegar esse lança de sangue aqui. Nossa, é 1000 desse negócio. Fudeu. Cacei 1000 de XP aqui. De XP. Você tem que upar os poderes do vampiro aqui. Não, mas ele não é um vampiro ruim. Ele quer se vingar de quem transformou ele, porque ele matou a irmã porque ele tava fraco. É da hora, é muito louca a história desse jogo. É, mas agora eu vou ter que pegar mais XP. Não, ela morreu. Aí ele ficou possesso, quer matar o filho da puta aqui. Preencher tudo. Não, ele tá... Agora eu tô numa fase que ele tá num hospital e pra ajudar as pessoas. Por que ele não quer preencher tudo? Não dá pra preencher aqui. Aí ele tá ajudando as pessoas, ele não quer, ele tá se negando a... Ele só mata aqueles que atacam ele, entendeu? Que é os caras que estão caçando ele. E ele sabe que os caras estão com medo dele.
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Depois você vê. É da hora. Ah, eu sei. Acho que é um Camaro, não sei se... Eu não sei que carro que é que você ganha aí no início. É, eu não consegui. Depois eu tenho que começar de novo. É, o Tarcísio colocou lá no grupo. Porra, velho. Eu comprei esse jogo. Falei, se fudeu, se fudeu. Não, já tinha comprado já faz um tempo. Aí eu falei, se fudeu, se fudeu. Zoando, entendeu? Ué, eu tenho Rocket League e não liberaram. Eu já tinha comprado essa porra. Falei, que puto da vida. Falei, me fudi, fazer o quê? Ah, faz tempo, é.
Please come back later.
Doutora Swanson. Eu não tô achando minha... Eu pensei que ela era minha sala. Não sei. Tá confuso essa parte aqui. Ah, eu subo essa escada aqui. Eu vou pra uma porta que não dá pra abrir. Deixa eu ir lá embaixo. Acho que vou ter que falar com as pessoas. Será que tem outras alas aqui que dá pra... Precisa de enfermeira.
It's locked, all right.
Esse aqui é o padre?
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed is...
Olha, ele salvou o padre
Sir, I must
de
apologize
morrer
for
da
my
mordida lá do
What do
outro
you
lado.
mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion make me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and
Não
polite.
sei,
A
João
little delirious,
Vitor. Ele
perhaps.
tava aí
But who
agora há
wouldn't
pouco.
be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Eu tenho que adicionar ele de novo, peraí. Vou terminar a live daqui a pouquinho. Fiz amigo, o que você fala, como se sente?
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really.
Isso que é chato,
But I
ficar
recognize Miss Harriet Jones.
perguntando
When
para
you
as
here when she
pessoas.
lived by the docks? That poor woman had such a miserable life.
Não,
never came to
tem
see
a
her
legenda em
in
português, mas é em inglês.
Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but
Ah,
notice
deve
the
ter
cross
sido.
around your neck.
I managed
Vai
a
ver,
night
encontrou o
assignment for
Miguel, o
poor
Enzo,
homeless
aí
at the
foram
docks.
fazer
And I
suruba.
try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith, willing to preach the good word.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel...
Here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll
Aí ele falou, aí vai ele e fica assistindo a live enquanto eu tô falando isso.
All I need is rest.
O Vitor.
And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Aí mais tarde,
yes,
à noite.
Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then?
É, a minha também de vez em quando.
Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
É, mais pra frente eu baixo de novo e tento.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and
Não, eu tava usando da conta do João, aí saiu gratuito, eu botei na minha biblioteca.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End.
É, mas só que depois que desbloquear uma certa parte, acho.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Dooth Digby.
Aí, falou na praga, aparece aí, ó.
How did you end up in William Bishop's
O Vitor.
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place, and he refused to let me go.
Why?
Tá na live aqui.
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Eu zoando? Não.
You dared to enter this awful
O João tá te zoando.
You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed.
É, sério, o João tava te zoando aí, falando que você tava com o Miguel e com o Enzo aí. Ó lá, 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 ó, João, ó, suruba aí, ó.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later. Será que é pra cá essa porcaria? Hospital grande da porra. Ah não, que sai do hospital? Para o hospital. Eu acho que é naquele quarto mesmo, mas eu não sei como que descansa não. Ah, encontrei a tua irmã, aquela safada. Esse quarto aqui mesmo, não tem outro.
Peraí. Ué? Eu não coisei a lança de sangue aqui? Então vou pegar os... Condição corporal, vamos... Ixi! Falou que é o bolinha brigadeiro, deixava não. Não, bolinha brigadeiro é o Fepa. Sou eu não. Ficar botando palavras na boca dos outros aí.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Ixi. Peraí. Vou terminar a live aqui, que já tá 1 hora de live. Que é isso, sanitizer aí? Que porra é essa, ô João?